Hello and welcome to episode 38 of the DFTW podcast. And man, I just want to thank you for so many people subscribing, and I thank you for that. Also, if you could leave reviews on wherever you're watching podcasts or listening to podcasts, that would be outstanding. I'm also videoing this one for the first time. Just want to try that and maybe add it to a YouTube channel. And most of all, today's podcast is about just my life lately and kind of what's been going on. And a lot of people have been asking, man, how you doing? What's going on? No updates. You still running? All the different things. And so just kind of wanted to hop on while I was feeling okay and give an update. So if you don't know, man, it started 2023 in a really, really great way. I was running every morning. I was waking up early and spending time with the Lord and writing and journaling, if you will, writing, whatever you want to call it. I started 75 hard in 2023, and man, things were going good as far as mentally, spiritually, physically. Work and family, and I mean, it still is good, but just kind of have a little setback. And so, man, I was rocking and rolling, and then January 31st happened, and I woke up feeling kind of junky. Really wasn't sure what was going on, and so what did I do? I decided to go on a run. That's what I do in the mornings. And so I woke up feeling, man, just not very good. And so I was like, man, I think I'm going to get up and go on a run and just try to sweat it out, if you will. Well, still kind of felt junky the rest of the day. And then the next morning woke up, the same thing, just not feeling very good. And tried to work it out and tried to run and see if that would help at all. And it didn't. And then Thursday came, or Wednesday was happening. I just kept feeling worse and worse. And then that Thursday came, early February, and man, it was brutal. Body aches, all sorts of things. And my wife's like, man, you might want to get tested for COVID. And so I got tested, came back positive, and which was okay. You know, I had COVID before, and I knew that I'd get through it. But during this time, man, I was super weak, body aches, headaches, fever like crazy, but my oxygen level was really low. And the way that I know my oxygen level, your oxygen level should be, anywhere above 95%. And I measured on my watch. I've got a great watch that does a lot of great things. And the way I measured it was with the watch. And so, but it kept being below 90. And man, I could tell, I mean, I know my body pretty well. I couldn't get deep breaths. I couldn't, I just very fatigued, all the things. And so, man, that week went by and the body aches went away and all the things. But man, my oxygen level and my energy and my breathing just never really came back. And man, I would just take like walking a few steps, super out of breath. All the things were happening. And man, I was just like, what is going on? Because just in 2022, man, I had ran 1,000 miles. I'd done an ultra marathon. I was running. And this year I was trying to up my mileage and do all the things. And man, I never really felt out of breath. And so I couldn't figure out what was going on. Just very sick, not feeling good. I thought it was pneumonia, all the different things. So I went to the doctor, ended up getting a blood test, and the blood test came back that I have what they call is Epstein-Barr Virus. And I was like, man, that's not a good name for a virus, period, but what in the world is that? And was told that pretty much Epstein-Barr is something that we all really have in our bodies. We get it when we're young. And, Epstein-Barr can cause a whole lot of things. One of those is mono. And so if you've had mono before, then you somewhat understand this. And with me, what happened was, it sounds like, is that the COVID, as well as my weakened immune system, I believe from running and working out, when I wasn't feeling good, I believe even added more to it. So so this Epstein-Barr, after the blood test, they're like, man, that's what it is. So I'm like, so what do I do? And the biggest thing is, rest, which I can't help right now but rest, because I'm just so tired all the time. Still, oxygen levels are low, pretty hard to breathe. And with this Epstein-Barr, the symptoms for me, and it's different for other people, but for me is extreme fatigue, which is so new to me, completely new, and it's not very fun. Low oxygen levels still. I'm hovering around 92, 93, which is better. Constant headache, brain fog like crazy, shortness of breath, and insomnia. But kind of figuring it all out with all these different things. With the Epstein-Barr, though, what I've learned is you got to be cautious, because if you're not careful, man, it can turn into a lot of other things. And it's been linked to MS, it's been linked to some cancer, it's been linked to a lot of different stuff. And so just want to be super careful with it, and not. I'm just trying to be very cautious. I really have no choice but to be cautious, because I truly am just exhausted. Even the strength to do this podcast. I mean, I've been wanting so badly to share my life and kind of, hey, what's been going on, and people have been asking, and on Instagram and all the things. Just is kind of what I do. I try to encourage people, and it's even hard to do that and just have the energy to do anything. And really for me, it's been hard mentally. It's been really hard, because for so long, all I've ever known is to be super active, to encourage people, to be physically fit as much as I can, and now, man, I can't even take a few steps without feeling fatigued, and just your mind, like, a battle of the thoughts of, like, I can't do anything for my family. It's hard to, like, get dressed. It's hard to take a shower. It's just exhausting. Even with work, I'm like, man, there's so much I want to do. There's so many things, and just kind of, start feeling behind. And so your mind, just starts to wear on you, and people have been so great and so amazing. And people say, man, so how you doing? And if you know me, I'll be very honest with you. I'll say, okay, good, great. And right now I'm okay. Will I be great? I will. I know I will be. But the truth is, it's been hard. It limits my time with people, which I love, meetings with people, conversations, interactions, even at times going to church, just because it's so at times exhausting just to talk to people. That's frustrating. It's really, really frustrating and hard. And so what do you do about that? What do you do about this Epstein-Barr? For me, I'm doing everything that I can. I've added a lot of different supplements into my life, tons of vitamins, tons of greens, like vegetables like crazy, medicines from the doctor. Things that I'm avoiding, which is really hard, is red meat, egg yolks, and sugar, because, man, I've read that can really cause the virus to get worse with those things. Every morning, I drink celery juice. That sounds crazy, but apparently that's really good to help your immune system. I limit my caffeine, which is not fun, because I love coffee, and I still have coffee, just not a lot of it, just to try to be as cautious as I can. Also, I'm trying to do a sauna. Go to the sauna as much as I can, which again is work to try to go to the sauna. But man, sauna work, what I've learned is, man, it helps me to sweat, and I don't have to work out. So I can stay in there for 20 minutes and sweat. And man, it also helps with detoxing your body, and it improves your immune system like crazy. It helps to raise my oxygen levels, because the heat from the sauna can increase the circulation of oxygen and get that nutrient-rich blood circulating. in your body. And I always get this little yes after the sauna because it's just simulating kind of a workout. And I really love it. Another thing I'm doing is this hyperbaric oxygen therapy. So I go to this place and I get in this tube, if you will. And what this does is that the oxygen increases the amount of the oxygen in your blood. And man, I can tell a big difference because it's just you're in this level of oxygen. It's just constantly getting into you and helping your organs and your tissue and everything with this high oxygen levels that you can't just get here just walking around. And so, man, I've been doing all these things, trying everything I can, and most of all, man, I've been praying like crazy. One thing I know is that I've been through things in my life, and this is really nothing. It's just a season. I know it. I'm also super glad that I was healthy before all this hit because who knows how much worse this could have been. But I was glad that I was healthy before all this happened. And I just want to encourage you, man. Don't take your fitness for granted. Don't take your physical health for granted. I wish so badly, like right now, I could go on a walk or I could just be a little bit active, but at this moment, I just can't. I don't have the energy. So I encourage you, man, get active. I don't know how that hits you. I don't know what that means to you, but I encourage you to do it because you never know what's going to happen. Also encourage you, man, lean into the Lord. Like I was saying, this little setback in my life has truly brought me even closer to the Lord. And man, my walk with the Lord was great leading up to this. Praise the Lord. But man, I encourage you to do that. One verse that, man, I've just been really loving is Isaiah 41:10, and it says this: I will strengthen you, I will help you, and I will hold on to you. And I read that on February 18th that morning, and man, I'm just so thankful for that because I believe it. I will strengthen you. He will strengthen me. He will. And he will help me. And he will hold on to me. And this little setback is a setback. I hate it with everything I have. It is brutal. But is there purpose in this? Yeah, I'm gonna be healthier because of it. I'm gonna not take working out for granted. I'm gonna keep leaning into the Lord. I'm gonna do whatever I can with this little pause that I believe that I'm in right now. And so I just want to thank you for all the prayers and the friends and the things. But I just wanted to update you guys and those that have been asking about how I'm doing, what's going on. And so hopefully the next podcast I can get on here and be like, man, doing better. I'm going on walks or whatever that may be. And so, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And if this is your first time listening, I encourage you, man, go listen to the other podcast. This is a passion of mine to help people in whatever way, mainly spiritually and physically and mentally. So, again, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the DFTW podcast.